And we're back. See? Wasn't that painless? That was super duper painless. Alright, what we will do here, we'll go into our collection, and we'll build Teriyaki Fishgang's deck. We'll test this out for the rest of the stream since we only got about an hour left. Cannoneer Lugnut. Perfect. Gotta love it. I am seeing one thing immediately. You have 2 Colossi Ritual Sites in here. That is a classic restricted card. Is there a specific one you would like me to take out? And I... Teriyaki? Just because I noticed it. You're running Encrusted Shield. And you're running the Lightning Electro Eel. Okay. Let me get these combos in here quick. Body Morph. Overwhelming Blast, because why not? Overdrive. Just need help with making it better? Okay. Shatter Blast. And I think you were running Steel Fortification, if I remember right. It's on the bottom picture, so. Alright, we got 1 Blast Bot. Let's go to the action cards. 1 Blast Field Battery. Oh, I'm only looking explosive for some reason. There we go. 2 Defenders. 2 Chronomoths. I implore the Moth. I implore the Moth. 1 Warper. I'm going to take in 1 Ritual Site. 2 Bombers. Remember, this deck looks weird only because I'm on budget and don't have full collection, but I can work on building it to improve the deck. Sure. That is what I'm here for, man. I'm here if you're like, hey, I don't have all the cards, so this is what I came up with. Can you help me make it better? I mean, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys because, like I said, I have the full collection. So if I can help you improve your deck before you spend the shards so you know which cards to craft, I am here to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can. I don't want to just go, yeah, you can, fix it this way, this way, this way. I will build it, and if you like that, then you know a streamlined way to spend your shards. Where you don't feel like, you're wasting them, the card doesn't work out right. That kind of thing. Where is your catapult? There we go. 3 of these. Ooh, fancy. 1 Power Hoarder. I like Power Hoarder. Power Hoarder is really nice. 1 Ramparts. 1 Regen Chamber. Is that it? I feel like there's more. Oh, there's way more. 1 Bruiser. Now to Storm. 2 Spark Wisps. 1 Eel. 1 Fixer, and then I'll grab the unaligned cards. Or no, not Fixer, Historian. Not Fixer, Historian. Just 1, right? Yeah. Now we got a Blacksmith. And 2 Barkeeps. Is that all 30? No, I'm missing 1. Missing 1. Which one did I not put in here? Let's go back to the top. Gear Crank never works. Mud Turtle, we will try. We will try to make it work. Blast Bot. 2, 2, 1. Oh, it's the Colossi Ritual Site. I need to find a card for the Colossi Ritual Site. You know what? If you're running a deck like this and you just want to use it for the damage increase, why not just replace it with a Storm Shaman? It's essentially the same thing. Yep. Thank you, Rain Thor. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a Classic Ritual Site. We'll have a Storm Shaman. Essentially the same thing. So it's how your deck would be in Classic format if you just had one of each. And then we can fully test it, and we can see how this deck does as is, and we will make changes as we go. How many tech buffs do I have? You know what, Mud Turtle? I do not know. We have 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blastproof Defender stays out along with Regen Chamber, so we might be able to get it pulled off. But Mud Turtle, you're right. I mean, this could be a card we pull out for something else. We might pull it out for a Crumbling Tower. It's essentially the same thing, and it works well with Crazed Bomber if you can play it off right. And Classic Ritual Site prevents damage too on the turn. I mean, there's several things we can do. We will just take a look and see how this deck runs to see if they're good being played or not. He also has Body Morph and Steel Morph Fortification as well. So we will take a look and we will give this deck a test. And we will work from there. Guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like we had a great show today, don't you? We started off by beating the Valentine's Day campaign, one-shotting both of them. Because we're... No, we didn't. We did not one-shot the second one. Our god fell. And we had to do it a second time. But we built an amazing all-air deck. That was fun. Mud Turtle, don't... No, I don't know. I don't want your kidding. I don't want your sass in here. I think the Encrusted is fine. I could do this as well. And toss back a Body Morph and something else. I think Body Morph. And in all honesty, Ramparts. I don't need it right now. I have Blastproof Defender. I have some damage and card draws. Mud Turtle, it's so difficult to get sarcasm when you just text. You need to fill me with like at least 3 emojis when you're being joking. Or like just put an asterisk, like, dude, totally kidding. No harm, no foul. Deal 1 damage to your attacker when you play an attack card if you have access to at least 3 orders. This cannot be increased by effects. So immediately right now, this makes me think of a card or a deck that really doesn't even want to run the catapults, as it's not an attack card. So you don't really get the benefit from countering your Lugnut. Do I just pass? If this thing was not there, I would be super happy. But it is, so I'm not. Oh my word, how much damage prevention do you have? Are you an all forest buff? Ooh, okay. Never mind. He's just a really efficient animal deck. That makes sense. I think I'll just pass again. If he's got all this damage prevention, there's nothing I want to do. I mean, if you're also running Crystal, you could run a Crystal Leech in here too. If you're only running 2 Crazed Bombers. I mean, I really don't want to do anything. I want to keep doing nothing until I get like a Crazed Bomber or something for buff removal. Therapeutic Eel. Oh, and the Electro Eel. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. See, now if I have both weapons, my attack cards can start pinging away at this thing. Interesting. Very interesting. What am I doing? What am I doing? Do I just Chrono Moth here? Because he's gonna start hitting me real quick, real soon, right? Yeah. And laying the attack card was better for me because it did the 1 ping, which is nice. Very nice. So we can Overwhelming Blast with the Blast Bot and the Reactor Overdrive. Actually, I might want a Colossi Ritual first, though. Do this first. Do I Spark Wisp here? Just to ping that away, deal 5 to him, bring him down to 30. Next turn, this will deal, what, 15 damage to him? Get him down to half health? No, I don't. You sure? If you say so. Okay. I mean, next turn, Therapeutic Eel for draw 3, no damage is also really nice. Wow, okay. That kind of stinks. I am just in a bad way. I don't even want a Therapeutic Heal anymore. Do I just lay this and try to go? Like, I need to do something. I'm going to take 5 damage every turn, and I don't have healing. So I need to do something here. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just dead next turn. Unless I draw a bomb or a Crazed Bomber. I'm just dead next turn. Oh, isn't that fancy? Even my own combos. So to poke that, get rid of it. 6 damage to his face. Still no. Oh, yeah, I'm just dead. I am just dead because I take 7. So we did go against a deck that is very buff heavy, and we only run 2 buff removal cards. We're a deck that wants to attack, and I saw us drawing a lot of buffs. So Teriyaki Fishgang, this deck, I mean, this deck is fine. The hero that you're using it for, probably either change the hero and go the more buff route, or we change the buffs and we go a lot more attack route. I thought I had leeches in it. Oh, I do have 2. Wow, you're right. I had 2 leeches and 2 bombers, and I just didn't draw a single buff removal. Yeah, that kind of stunk. I even had the Therapeutic Heal for card draw. Umbra and Barkeep for card draw. Wow, I just really drew bad. That's what this was. I just really drew bad. Maybe actually we just play this one more time and see if I draw any better. Because that was just me being really bad. He also had a nut opener. Yeah, why don't we give this one more try? Why don't we give this one more try? And see if I could actually, you know... I don't know, it's up to... We'll play it one more. You had 4 buff removal cards, I didn't draw a single one. I even Tyrax Historian at the beginning to cycle through my deck. What I think this deck doesn't have is healing. It has some damage prevention, but the only healing I'm seeing is like Chrono Warper. So it does seem like a very aggressive deck with all of its attacks. Regen Chamber, true, but against the nature deck, it would have been nothing. Everyone immediately is like, no, you have this and this and this for healing, and I'm like, no, it's not the healing I need. It's the healing I want, but not the healing I need. And of course, I toss away the one mechanical, or I could lay body morph. Of course, of course, of course, of course. So I think that one. That one. In case he lays Mountain Fort. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not paying attention. You guys are more attentive than I am. Well, there's my first buff removal. I think I'll lay this now. This deck is more interesting than everyone's like, yeah, you're just not playing it right. I know, it's because I'm... Like, it actually has pretty ample card draw, too, right? It has the therapeutic eels. It has the historians. It has the battery that I just played. Like, this just... I haven't drawn anything. It was me being terrible. I think, actually, I just pass? With this hero, it makes me want to get my second weapon. There we go. Look at that. In a time of crisis, in a time of need, RG will always draw what he needs, unless it's last game when I drew nothing. I drew nothing. Oh, that's gonna set you back, buddy. I am sorry on that. See, if I do this, and I do this. I do think that 3 catapults are a bit overdone. We might think about... I mean, because if a catapult is very conditional 8 damage... Oh, that's... I'm so sorry for your loss. The catapults just feel really out of place. He is just begging me to bomber. You're right, he is. Because with the crazed bombers, it's hard to keep your buffs on the field. And you have very minimal mechanical buffs as well. So this 8 damage that's going to go off after like 2 turns, you could just replace with like a Tyrex Mercenary, which in case you have explosive with, and his trait is begging you to want to play attack cards. So I think taking out some of these Gear Crank catapults will be better. We'll also take a look at your combos and see if we can find better ones that work with the deck. I don't have a time, so I can't even Shatter Blast. Okay. Flame Bat, sure. So I think those are the immediate changes that I would make. Just take the catapults out. We'll add in just more attack cards to go with his ability to get that 1 extra ping damage. Is just really beneficial and nice. And then we will take a look at your combos to see if there's anything else we can do with it. Super good. Alright, now we're just going to blow him up, right? We're just going to blow him up in the face. Take that. Now, this is ability when I play an attack card. Yeah, okay. It's when I play an attack card. So it's not used like an attack ability. It doesn't trigger off of that. It has to be a card. Has to come from my hand. Has to do everything in the world. Well, Rock Fist, really? Well, where's my Crystal Leecher Bomber? Maybe I can Therapeutic Heal and draw it. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if I could draw it? Have I ever told you guys that I'm the luckiest boy in the world? Luckiest darn boy you ever did see. We're probably also, since you run 2 items, we're probably going to want to up your number of Tantosian Blacksmiths. I've just been getting really lucky in drawing them both. I have not even needed to Tantosian a single game yet, I don't think. No, this is only the second one. But if you have 2 items, you're probably going to want to run at least 2 Tantosians, so that's always going to be a good one to craft for you. How many cards do we have? 6 and 6, so we can Storm Shaman. He hasn't laid a single Crystal Leech yet, so this could be bad. And then draw 2 with Umbreon Barkeep. And I mean, if he Crystal Leeches, our Power Hoarder gets a stick. If he doesn't, we can Chronomoth Blastbot for lethal. We'll see what he's got. Especially if he Mountain Forts. That's why I kept Blastbot instead of the Bruiser. Cha-ching! That's just a lot of damage. That's just a lot of damage there, sure. Yeah, and with running both a Storm Shaman and a Colossi Ritual Site for that massive increase, really makes me want to play attack cards over those buffs. So, thank you for that chest. Nice. So we'll go in here. We've played it a little bit. The catapults, they feel out of place, as I said before. We're gonna want to put in at least one more Tantosian to really make sure we get our items, because our hero starts going off insanely fast the moment we get 2 items out. That's when we really want to start pushing. So the moment we can get those out, the better we are. The other question is, would the Power Hoarder also be out of place? Possibly. Only because we're running Crazed Bombers. And because if we're taking out a lot of these buffs. I mean, in a sense, no. Because if you Crazed Bomb or Power Hoarder early enough, it is really tempting bait removal to be able to make sure that your Colossi Ritual Site and your Storm Shaman stick. I mean, you do have, what, Ramparts, Region Chamber, all this stuff in here. Can take out Region Chamber for Fixer. True. Like, I have to realize that I do want at least a moderate amount of buffs in here. Because if we don't, then Storm Shaman and Colossi Ritual Site are the only ones. And those are always going to get Crystal Leeched. We could just take those out and just go straight attack and be like a tech aggro that just gets increased out of the other stuff. We could just take those out and go all attack. Just go straight heavy aggro. So why don't we try this? Just take out like all the buffs, because as we have discussed before, as we have discussed many a time, the best decks right now don't run a single buff. How funny is that? So yeah, we can run. We'll run 2 fixers. We don't need to run 3 because right now we're being very aggressive. We don't need to run that much on damaging. Repair bot? No. We've already gone too heavy on all the buffs out. Scrapworks Bruiser. Let's just go into the explosive attack cards. Let's see what we have. You have 1 Alchemist. How many cards do we have left to play with? 7? We can get 2 more Bruisers in there. 1 or 2 Mercenaries. Maybe even another Blast Field Battery to get card draw. What's our lineup look like? Oh, we need some mechanical stuff, don't we? What do we have for mechanical? A really nice one is Dugout Reactor. If we're running that much explosive, Dugout Reactor is really nice. Even just a 1 of. Because if you have all these explosive combos, which we probably will, getting those back to your hand after using them is really nice. So it's a card you want to lay late, which means it'll help you if you need to pay for mechanical stuff. Do we add a 3rd fixer? Maybe we do. So we have 1 more spot to play with. What other... No, because we don't have mechanical superiority, so there's no point in a Wrench Juggler. Do we... Like, I feel the Blast Field Battery and the Tyrax Historian are really nice. Another Spark Wisp? Could. I mean, if we add another Spark Wisp, I would almost want to add just another Mercenary for more explosive. Yeah, Merc over Wisp. Exactly my thought. And if for some reason we don't draw the weapon, we still can lay that card. So now, with that being said, we'll go into our combos. It's like essentially, like, it's really, really sad to say this, but the only, like, really strong way to build tech is aggro. And it kind of sounds bad, but it's all because Crazed Bomber. And I'm making a video on that on YouTube. I'm making a video on it. Of how tech will never change unless they change their core cards. What do I have here? If we're running Shatter Blast, we can run Quantum Loop. Nitro Heal. Blast Sequence. Okay, so if I... So do I... Oh, I guess I can run just Nitro Punch, can't I? I can just actually run... Or Piston Punch and actually be able to play it. Electrify, no. Electrify, once again, would be the only buff. Which means it would potentially only deal 6 damage. And if you think about that, Piston Punch is 8 damage and Mill 2. So that's already better than Electrify is. Nitro Healing is just a heal card. It can help pay for a lot of stuff. Really good heal. But then we have Tyrix Fixers for heal. Historian does not rely us on our tech as much as Blast Field Battery does. Actually, is this a deck where I run Historian over the battery? With how many non-tech cards I have? Is that possible? I think it might actually be. I think this might be a deck in which case we want to run a Historian over the battery. And the battery, in my opinion, is a much better one. Much better one. There's the Historian. Electrify over Quantum Loop. Here's what I say to that, Mud Turtle. Here's what I'll say to that. If we have Electrify, there are literally only 3 cards in this entire deck that we can lay with Electrify, because we have to have our item equipped in order to lay it. And drawing with Therapeutic Eel or having Spark Wisp just deal damage is way better than laying a combo buff that will only deal 6 damage. Yeah, Shatter Blast is just way better. Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, if it's the only buff in our deck, right? If it's the only buff in our deck, it is 100% getting buff removal right away. Which means that buff that I spent 2 cards on doing will deal 6 damage tops. When one of the cards, or 2 of the 3 cards that I can lay for it will deal 5. That's an action card. And if I think about it that way, that really doesn't want me to play Electrify. Not unless I have ways to, like, mitigate their hand and make it so they're, like, discarding their combos or their buff removal. Like, it really doesn't make me want to lay it. And Shatter Blast fits really well into Quantum Loop. What about putting Time Flicker instead of Shatter Blast? We could. Time Flicker is really nice. It's, like, a broken card. But we have Umbron Barkeep, we have Therapeutic Eel. We have the Tyrix Historian for card draw. That I feel like also with I mean us being just a straight aggro deck, and the reason we're running Quantum Loop is so we can help pay for Shatter Blast cheaper. Like if we were running Time Flicker, I would probably run different combos than these two. I would take out Quantum Loop and put in something else. But I think that Quantum Loop to just deal 9 as an attack, Shatter Blast to deal 15 or 14 as an attack, all this stuff is just, it screams we're gonna have major pressure. And if we have plenty of card draw, we should be fine. Shatter Blast is one of the best OTK finishers outside of Overwhelming Blast. That having both of them in this type of deck where we just want to rush them down, I'm fine with that over card draw, especially with how much card draw we now have with Barkeep, Historian, Therapeutic Eel, like all this stuff. We also run 2 Chronomoths, which are our card draw. So I think we're actually fine. I think we're fine without Time Flicker, and we can run Shadow Blast instead. But we'll see. There could be many times where like Time Flicker becomes much more important. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. We'll have to see how the card draw is later in the game. Other question, why Shield over Crystal Core? There's really no reason. Is Fishgang here? Fishgang, do you have Crystal Core, or do you just have the Shield? My guess is he just didn't have the core, and he had Shield and wanted to run Crystal. That's my guess. But, I guess if we're going full revised, we would definitely run Crystal Core. In a deck that, well, you have 10 or less health. Mind you, we'll get below 10 or less health. But Crystal Core just helps us survive, and if we're playing aggro matchup, if we're playing the aggro matchup, what am I doing? Core is better. You don't know? That's fine. That's fine. My guess is, seeing as how Crystal Core can only be bought, how much to craft? Yeah, exactly, right? 500. So it's actually not that bad. It's about as much as the Encrusted Shield was to craft if you had to craft it. And in my opinion, Tarek and Fishgang, Crystal Core is right next to Tome up on the best and most used item in the game. Crystal Core goes in every deck just because of its versatility, especially in aggro, when you don't rely that much on healing, and you can be like, hey, you know, I'm at 9. You can do 2 actions and I still won't die, and then I have my full swing to go against you. Or, you know, combos don't work at a certain health. Like, Crystal Core is just 9 times out of 10 better than any other item. Core should be rotating out, but it's not. But it's not. I have, like I said, several YouTube videos here, Wrangler. Several YouTube videos of things that I want to talk about. About cards that I believe should be, that like, because they're in the game, make metas stagnant, where like, this is always going to be in this deck. If it's not in the deck, you're not playing at a competitive level. There are cards like that, in this early stages of the game, I think are okay until we see what Uprising brings out. But later on, if they just keep being in, and they keep being there, it makes the game very stale. So they either need to rewrite the card or put that card on the way out. But I have many a list for my YouTube videos to make. So keep an eye out for them. Coming in April is when I will start, because April's when I move in with my girlfriend to our new apartment. That's when I'll start filming these YouTube videos, start getting them up. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get some up, like, I don't know, once a week, once every other week. Obviously, I had someone tell me before that they wanted me to actually go back to my card review and do a second review on my review about all the cards that I was wrong about. And one of them that I'm almost positive I was wrong about was I gave Magrock the Imbuer a 2-star. Or probably even less. I gave him a 2-star. And he is by far a much more amazing hero than I gave him credit for. What is this? Mind you, I have buff removal up the butt, so I'm fine. Umbra Barkeep is good. Just forfeit. No, we're doing this. We're going all out. Pass. We have a Crazed Bomber in case he goes wide. But, I mean, it all depends. Wait, Crystal Core helps Blasphemic not be a dead card. I can craft that for sure. Exactly. Exactly. Especially if you want to get 2 Tantosians in there. Why not use Historian there? Because, like, the only way to truly use Historian would be to potentially Well, I guess I would draw the cards first. I keep thinking of it as Blast with a Battery. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right, Wranglethor. I probably should have Tyrax Historian. If Ulm is just playing... Yeah, no, he's... No. I'm not playing you, man. Unless you're playing a different kind of Sicario, I'm not going to let you test in casual. You take that deck to ranked. You take that deck to ranked, where it belongs. I'm not going to let you test that in casual. I don't care what you say. You're not getting any benefit out of it in casual. Especially if I just forfeit, you get no card levels out of it. So if you keep running into me, I'm going to give you nothing, and we're just going to waste each other's time. That's what you get for playing Sicario in casual. That's what you get for playing Sicario in casual. You get nothing. You get no benefit, no card values, no nothing. Yes, I did get your other email. I did get your other email. These two are perfect to toss back. I'm not playing them anytime soon. I don't have my weapons. So, yeah, Terry Fishgang, I did get your second email. I will email you back after the show, and we will discuss all that stuff. I've seen quite additional Sicarios in casual. Only thing I can imagine is they're trying to relive the glory days for a few more days. That's true. That could possibly be true. But the thing is, the traditional Sicario is not that far off of the... Hey, Cedrix, thank you very much for the follow. Everyone, can we get a Thunderfin salute for Cedrix in the chat? Welcome to the Pac-Man. The Pac-Man, Welcome to the Pac, sir. 1 sec, I will answer that question in 2 shakes of a lamb tail. I think tossing that back is fine. Yes, he's playing... I'm playing against Zilla. God, I love seeing all those new Thunderfin emotes. Rotate one of your action buffs 1 step forward. This is the starter hero of tech. I can almost guarantee you it. Which makes me feel kind of bad. So, you had it in a blacksmith, now you draw no weapons or blacksmith. Mud Turtle, when you're right, you're right. No, Cowboy Hat Valley, you're completely right. It's not fun to play against Sicario. It has been refined even before Kindred came out as one of the top tier decks. And then when Kindred came out, it just got a few more tools to be better. And then people refined it to play ladder more efficiently. And now it's like, yeah, I want to relive the glory days with the old Sicario. And I'm like, yeah, you know, Sicario had several cards that are banned in it you're playing, especially like that Shadow Wraith. They made it so I can't attack, like that stuff. No, I'm not letting you do it. I'm sorry. I think I just... Do I hit for 11? I got other damage in my hand, but I have nothing afterwards. And if he's playing tech and he has like Tyrax's fixers, it could have just blew up in my face, so I think I just pass. I don't think I go off yet. Ooh, with a dugout reactor, that might change my mind now. I don't use that hero, so I didn't recognize it. Thank you. No problem, Wranglethor. I mean, it's one of the basic heroes. It's the one that comes with the ability, rotate a buff forward. Not a lot of people know those types of heroes unless you play like straight from the starter. If you buy a starter deck, you're never going to see it because you don't probably want to run that. Who's to blame, the hero or the cards? Sicario, the hero, is to blame. I say run that deck with any other hero. You will not get the value that Sicario gets. Not one bit. Play that same deck. Take Sicario out, put like High Curator Arwen in there. Or no, you probably actually want to put someone with Shadow Supremacy in it. And you will not get the same effect. I think I want to Crazed Bomber this, actually. He's preventing me from dealing damage to him. Then Fixer. Then I can Overwhelming Blast next turn. Then I can go into Scrapworker's Bruiser, Tyrax Mercenary. Then I have Dugout Reactor to pull those two back and do anything I want. So should they ban the hero instead of the cards? The hero's getting retired. The hero's getting retired, so they are retiring the hero. There are a lot of cards, like they banned Shadow Wraith back before I think even Awakening came out. I wish I had a time so I could Shatter Blast, because now, like, if he just attacks me, I think I'm in trouble. I'm gonna go down to 11, and he's gotta have cards that deal 6 each, right? Like, risk it for the biscuit. We'll see what he's got. What are the odds he has lethal, right? What are the odds? If anything, and he doesn't kill me, I have a fixer. But I mean, he could easily Bruiser or Mercenary just like I'm gonna do to him. Ooh, we live. Cowboy! I mean, you're not wrong. That was a great way to say that, though. Actually, I had lethal. Guys, why am I like this? Why am I like this? Anyone know? Anyone know why I'm like this? I had 11 damage in hand, and he's going to deal 2 damage to himself. I had lethal, and I just tossed it out the window. No, I did. Because he was at 12. I could deal 11, and then on his turn, this is going to rotate and hit him for 2. He had lethal. He had lethal on himself. And I have played with this card in my robot deck many a times to know what it does. I was just sitting there going, I'm going to die to tech aggro. I need to heal. And now I could potentially die to like a Bruiser and a Frenzied Creeble or anything. Yeah. I was playing way too fast, and I just lost it. What's also really fun to say here is that this deck won simply by being a tech aggro deck. I didn't need the weapons. I didn't even get the weapons. I just won because I'm tech aggro. I won because I'm tech aggro. That's how redonkulous tech aggro is. And that meta will never go away unless the core cards change. The cards from Awakening. Those cards need to change, be errated in some way, shape, or form. Because they're the cards that literally built these decks. And because of the drawbacks of some of them, there's no reason to play any of the newer, more fun cards, like Demolition Bot, or Gear Crank Catapult, any of those fun ones, because the main cards are so efficient that there's no reason not to play them. Yeah, stall exists because of tech aggro. That is exactly true. So then what's the point in this deck and hero in comparison to making a normal tech aggro? Teriyaki Fishgang, you make a very good point. In a sense, there's really not. Other than the 1 ping damage could help you get around some other things. Exactly, to style him. I mean, he really gets effect out of the attack cards. So you want to get his effect off really quickly. So that you can get the 1 ping damage. And the 1 ping damage can potentially sometimes win you or lose you a game. Yeah, the hero is built for aggro. The hero is made... Why would you lay buffs if your trait says when you play an attack card? If you want to play... there's several other fun tech heroes out there that do things that, you know, work off buffs, work off all these things. But Cannoneer Lugnut is just one of those where equip items and then just lay attack cards. It's the best way. And tech aggro has some of the best attack cards. So it... Which kind of stinks to say, because it's like... He's a much more slower tech aggro, because you have Tempest out there, which is just hyper aggro. This, you utilize his ability... Yeah, 1 point of damage can make the difference. Exactly, better self. Not as bad as Astral. What do you mean not as bad as Astral? Ooh. doing this is fine. I'll want to wait till I can get more benefit out of it. I'll lay that next turn. If I don't lay this, so yeah. No, exactly, Mud Turtle. I mean, you can build your deck however you want, and then put in a hero. Some heroes are meant to have decks built around them. Some decks are meant to just plop a hero in and be okay. It really all depends on what you want to play. This guy's hero trait screams aggro, but that does not mean the only way to play him is with aggro. I mean, just by switching up his items, you can play a whole different ballgame by giving him different alignments. I mean, you could put nature in here and have nature attack cards, which are not as potent. Is this why I love this game? I love it because of so much deck stuff. I love it because there is such a variety in how you can build your decks that the deck construction, the deck creation, and all this stuff makes me just, in a sense, giddy because there's so much variety to it. Obviously, the meta is going to be out there. It's going to be out there. But then you can come out of left field with a random deck that's just made to beat the meta, and like maybe like 3/4 of the meta, and then you come into the one where you always lose. All deck doctoring should have a mandatory tome included. Cowboy Hat Valor, when you're right, you're right. We could add Forest to a deck that wants to attack. We could do that. Really? Alrighty then. Yeah, I mean, if we add Forest in here, we can then start looking at some of the hybrid combos that come from Forest and see if there's a good one. This game is also generous with packs. It really is. It really is. I mean, he's just going to heal for 4. I kind of don't want to do anything. Like, I want to save Chronomoth, too, because I have some time cards in here as well. There's our Blacksmith to get us our second item. And now we just have a bunch of tech attack cards. But, yeah, Teriyaki Fishgang, I mean, this game is insanely fun. Just because, like I said, with this one hero, because his hero traits, you'll say, you know, hey, if you attack, you get an extra ping if you have 2 items. But that doesn't mean that they have to be an aggro deck. Time to go ham? Time to go ham like Spider Pig. Yeah. Because now I have Spark Wisp in hand as well. I might do Forest one day, but I will slow down with you. I will slow down. No need to fret, man. I'm just saying that right now, this is... With the items that you want to stick with, this is a very optimized, just tech aggro. Get the items out there, get those ping damage in. You saw how much difference that ping damage meant when it goes against like things like Mountain Fort or the Moss Ridge one that just is very stationary. Those pings to get through buffs like that make him a lot better than just a normal tech aggro. And your attack buff removals also hit for 1. So like there's just There's a lot of versatility just in his hero power alone. You've never understood what nature is. That it's like a little bit of it's annoying the shit out of you. Yeah. Nature has lost a lot of its power cards. I'll give it that. But Nature, along with Astral, is really good at pulling off really big swing turns, but it lost a lot of its utility in order to stay alive. It's losing Spore Feeder, which was its only big heal, so all of its other heals have to come out of micro buffs, and with how potent buff removal is in this game, Nature just took a major dive. What's a hero I can make the most different decks with? Let's take a look here, shall we? Astral, Blaze Brute Zoc, we've already seen 2 different variations of this deck that both work really well. I think just being able to carry 3 different types of Quart, Mud Turtle. Being able to carry 3 different items really broadens your horizons in your deck because you can splash in like 4 different colors. So something like that is really, really unique. Selene could be used in aggro or combos. You can lay a Swoop Rider Kari. Obviously, that's more of like a beast type deck. What other heroes are there that you can like make really unique decks with that don't rely on the hero running the deck? Nightshade is a fun one. I built a Nightshade deck that was just complete shenanigans that ran off of yeah, I can do that for you, Teriyaki. I can for sure do that. I'll put it on my website, and then I will also build it on the TradeYour.cards, an amazing website for you to build your decks and share with the community as a whole. Comment, upgrade, do whatever you want. Make sure you put your decks on TradeYour.cards. Share with everyone because they'll share with you. So yeah, I put Nightshade. Nightshade's a really fun one. I put explosives in there for the 1 ping damage. Delzo, subscribe with Twitch Prime for 2 months in a row. Delzo, thank you very much for your 2-month anniversary. Can we get a Thunderfin salute for Delzo's 2 months in a row? Like a hero that can go combo, control, aggro, etc. Oh. Asavak. Asavak is one that can go heavy aggro because of Astral's way of playstyle with all the solar damaging cards that it runs. And then Death also has like some really just good damaging cards like with Shambler for buff aggro and stuff like that. The Gravity helps you card draw, which goes really fast. I've built a more... Oh wow, look at all these Thunderfins. They're amazing. It's like a pyramid now. Asavak, also, the way I built it was much more of a 1-turn swing. Really healed back up, drew cards until you got there, so it was like a combo deck. Control deck also with this. There's a lot of ways to mitigate with just healing, hand control, hitting in for big damage, and just really kind of wearing your opponent down. Asavak is a great one for several different builds. So if you have, 2,000 shards, Asavak is a good one. Nemi, I've built an okay one. But Nemi really leans more towards aggro. General Carnage is a really good one too. General Carnage, I built OTK decks, I built control decks, I have built aggression decks with General Carnage, which is really sad to say that the 2 I pointed out are mythic heroes, so they're really hard to craft. But those are like the ones that I just saw that I can go right off of that. Howlock the Founder, I built a... Yeah, Asavak is really good versus mill. That's true. Howlock the Founder, I built a really nice kind of mid-range control-y tempo deck with locations. I think Mud Turtle is the one that built the Howlock the Founder very aggressive style, where you just use his ability to get one specific location at the beginning of your hand, and you lay that down, and the rest of it is just like major mountain aggro. You can also build it a very defensive location style and go for OTKs in mountain. That's very possible. Asavak. Yeah. I mean, Mud Turtle Bait's a really aggro deck out of this. I built a more mid-rangey deck. There's ways to build a much more control-y deck with, Flame Fist, Umbron, and the Dust Down Assassin, that kind of way. There's several ways to build decks with heroes. What was the question? Why is that bitter? What bitter? Oh, are you just someone... Yeah. Howlock the Founder is a really nice one. I mean, it really all depends. A lot of these, like Jaspite the Hero, you could build a mountain deck that is either control, aggro, or mid-range, and just putting Jaspite in there to make it so that people who try to get combos against you aren't as effective is just a good hero trait. And then you can build whatever deck you want and just plop that hero in. What else do we have? Wrathshard, mind you, looks kind of funny because he has to use a lot of four-corner buffs, but they have put in a lot of cards now that quickly rotate your buffs. So he could easily be like an OTK deck. He could easily just be a tempo deck that I built before with just many four-corner buffs. He could be an aggro deck that just runs off, you know, buffs with four corners that you can't really remove, and spend your time just really hitting him hard with attack cards. Ancient, the best one out there is for Mill. No one's really come up with a better one than Mill. So yeah, I mean, it all depends. What I would suggest, Teriyaki, what I would suggest, find an order you like. Build a deck that you like just out of the action cards and the combos. And then after the deck is built, after everything, the deck works out the way you want it to, figure out if you need a certain superiority to make it work better, like to make it work more efficient. And then just find a hero with that superiority. I would say if you want to build different types of decks, don't look at one hero and say, okay, how can this hero benefit several different types of decks? Just build those decks, and then after they're built, pick the hero that guides that in the best way. Because like I said, if you build a deck and it runs perfectly fine off action cards, and you just want to find someone that's like really good in soul superiority to make it work, putting a Great Daku is fine. Put Great Daku in there if you just want the soul superiority. You could even run Ovis for soul superiority and still have that deck run really well. Because if the deck runs well, then the hero that guides it should only be there mostly for superiority. And if its hero ability is good, then cool. But if you're building a deck to build around a hero, those types of heroes are most often the type that guide a certain and specific deck. Daku was your first druid name in WoW. That's awesome. Mine was Greshu. But yeah, that's what I would do, Teriyaki, is I would literally just build a deck that you want to play. Build it how you want to play it, whether it's control, aggro, OTK, stall, however you want to play it. Build that deck the way it forms. Find out if you need a superiority. If you need one, then look for that. If you don't need a superiority, then just pick a hero that you think its ability might come in handy. Because there's decks out there that are like, hey, you know, I run 10, 10, and 10. My deck doesn't need me to play back-to-back cards for synergistic turns or anything like that. I can put any hero that would just be nice. And in that case, like, if you're playing a forest deck and you're like, oh, I don't really care what hero you need, you could just plop in a Scabious Deeproot. And every time they use a non-item ability, they take a damage. Just a good ability. Doesn't scream, hey, this has to be an aggro, or hey, this has to be in control. It just screams, hey, you know, if you do something that conditions my card, I'm going to get a benefit. Otherwise, I'm laying a cool hero with 29 health. I saw a lot of people also running Sage Leaf. No, not Sage Leaf. Well, Sage Leaf's good too. Whenever you use ability uses a hero, heal for 1. Where's Darkglade? Darkleaf, here we go. Darkleaf. Whenever you pass, you just heal for 1. Mud Turtle, have a good one, sir. I mean, Darkleaf, yeah, it just... He's superior in soul with 28 health, but when you pass, you just heal for 1. There could be a lot of turns where you pass. That's just healing for nature. One of my original decks that was really fun to play used the hero Olax. This power was fun, but you had to be careful what you played. Olax... What order is he in? Here we go. Increase damage done to other heroes by 1 if you're 15 below. And that's fine. You could play this as a hyper aggro deck and run things like Bruiser, put in cards that deal damage to yourself to get yourself really down quick so you get major benefit faster. You could play it as a stall deck where you kind of wait it out. You build up a good hand size until your opponent like brings you down, and then once they do, then you hit them hard with the hand that you've accumulated. Or you play it in like a tempo deck. You get a nice ping damage down. You really kind of like mitigate some of the damage so you don't drop too quick. And then once you've both dropped at about the same rate that a tempo deck would make, then when you're below 15, you really hit them hard. You could play an OTK deck where you build up the right resources, build up the defense wall until you're ready to drop below 15, then hit them with everything you got. I mean, there's several ways to build a deck with several different heroes. that I wouldn't necessarily think about it as what hero can run multiple decks, as opposed to, hey, I would build this deck because I want to play it, and then just see what hero you have that best guides it. So, I hope that answers your question. I know it was a very long discussion about me saying the exact same thing about 20 times, so I do apologize for that. But that is my humble opinion to you. My humblest of opinions to you. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm going to raise a question. I think I'm done. I'm not going to play another game because then when I do my sign-off, I'll be like way past 10 o'clock. And I've been getting really tired trying to wake up on time. So I'm actually going to start uploading these stuff to YouTube the next day after I get home from work. Because by the time I get to bed, it's like midnight and I got to be up at 4. So I'm going to start uploading these the next day to YouTube. That way I have more time and can actually get a proper night's sleep. So thank you very much for being, appreciative of that. But my question to you right now, for everyone that's sticking around to the last few minutes. On Wednesday, I'm going to try and do my third Tantosian Tavern trial with a guy. The other half of the episode. Is there a deck that you guys would like me to test? Is there a hero you are very intrigued about that has a really fun ability that you want me to try and build a deck around? Is there a card, an action card, or anything where you're like, I have yet to see anyone play this. I want you to see if you can make it work. Kind of like I did with Shrine of Death. The last night to give me results is tomorrow night, but I'll try to get plannings out Wednesday morning. Perfect. Thank you, Cowboy Hat Valor. Thank you. Otherwise, I'd have to maybe do it Saturday morning. I mean, I'll get it done as long as I have enough window time to get it done in one of my streams. I know, like, today was the last day for pairings. Oh, it's tomorrow night. I thought it was tonight. No, you did say you gave an extra night for people that had a mishap. That's right. I do apologize for that. But yeah, I'd stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so I want to make sure that I'm able to do it on stream, and I'm not, like, missing a window. There's a huge gap. Bitter Self, you want me to try and build an Obama-Nuck deck? I can. I can try and build one of my own. I know that on TradeJoe.cards, there is an actual high-level tournament passing Obama-Nuck deck out there. So if you want to take a look at that first, you're more than welcome to, but I can give it a shot on Wednesday. Oh, that's right, a Fraxinus Pine Husk deck. You are absolutely right. Because I wanted to try and do a deck with all of the heroes that can carry 3 items. You're absolutely right, Rocket Star. Maybe I'll do that. I haven't not played him yet, so I have no idea. Haven't seen it. Have not seen the TradeJoe.cards deck with Obama-Nuck? Is that the one you haven't seen? Okay, but you can't use the Swamp Peddler in that one. Alright, I won't. Swamp Peddler, I will almost definitely use the Umbron Salvager. I'll go see and try building it. Let me see if I can actually find it. Which is really weird because Tetra reviewed it on his stream, but he did not put it up. I actually have it here. I have it in my collection because I built it while I was watching him. At least I hope I do. Yeah, Obama Dunk. That's what I called it. I have the Obama-Nuck deck that was reviewed on Tetra's stream. I don't see many people use Lava Pools. Just because Lava Pool's bad. Oh, called it. But no, I can try that some other time. But the Pine Husk deck, I think I'm going to try on Wednesday. That one sounds good. Is Pine Husk the trash you own weapons fella? Oh, no. Pine Husk is the one where you can carry 3. I think the Sergeant someone is the one you throw your weapons at. I did play that deck on my stream. That was a fun deck to do. I think that's also on TradeJoe.cards. But here is the combos for that Obama-Nuck deck. You're not wrong. I know I'm not. Woo. But yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of this, or whatever, I'm lurking for a bit. Just keep moving the, improving the deck. I'll be back later. Teriyaki Fishgang, I'm almost out in like 5 minutes, so I think I'm done improving the deck. I will post it on Trader.cards on my website. If not tonight, then tomorrow after I get home from work, because like I said, I get super tired after these streams, and I gotta be up in 6 hours, so I'm probably just gonna go right to bed and do all the prep work from the stream before, the day after, which is once again, why another benefit that I'm gonna get on the stream soon is subbing to me through Twitch means that you can watch these the day of or the day after, right after I do it, because I think starting in April when I start doing more YouTube content, to make people actually go to my YouTube page a little more, because I know a lot of people just watch it on Twitch. I've seen all my views come from Twitch. To be a subscriber, you can watch my Twitch videos right after. Otherwise, I'll have all that content up for free on my YouTube channel the day after. Have a good night, sir. So, yeah, if you want to be a subscriber and watch the stuff on Twitch right away, or like the day after and whatnot, you don't want to wait 24 hours for me to get home from work, upload them to YouTube and watch them then, go ahead and subscribe to me on Twitch for that, along with my fancy fun emotes. But otherwise, it's going to be a 24-hour delay soon, coming in April, for, you have to go to my YouTube channel to watch the stuff if you're not a subscriber to me here on Twitch. Same content, it's not like I'm taking anything away from you. Same content to everyone. It's just you have to wait 24 hours to watch it on YouTube as opposed to watching it right on Twitch the day of or the day after. So, I do know there's a lot of people who live in like Sweden and Germany and just the UK in general who are sleeping at this time and wake up the next morning and want to watch my stuff on Twitch. So, if you do that, 24-hour wait to watch it on YouTube, same content, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Help me grow this channel, help me grow my YouTube channel, help me support me streaming-wise as that, so that you can watch it the day of and continue doing what you were doing before. But here's the combos for that deck. I'll go down to the action list now. Which I'm actually surprised that Tetra did not put this online. Because I think this is one of like the first ones that he showcased. So I'm actually very surprised it's not online. But I'll do this. You guys can screenshot it, whatever you need to do. Talk for a little bit, maybe like 10 more seconds, scroll down to the bottom. Okay. And then 2 Wandering Starformer and 3 Starformers, 2 Yukonas. And once again, if you want to see this deck in action, if you want to see it be played out, I can play it for you next week and show you. Or you can go to Tetradamus' stream and find his video that he did showcasing it. I don't know how long the Twitch videos last. I know right now, because I'm not a partner. No problem, Bitter Self, no problem. I know right now, because I'm not a partner, I think my Twitch videos only last for 60 days and then they auto get deleted. So that's why I'm very happy I decided to upload all my stuff to YouTube so they're there forever. So in case, like, you know, you guys want to watch really old videos of stuff, everything I've recorded so far is going right to YouTube. Because Twitch will auto-delete stuff after a certain amount of time if you're not a partner. And I'm not a partner yet until I get like 100 subs. And I'm only at 15. So it's going to be a while. And I know for a fact that all these early ones are going to be really good to want to come back to and rewatch. Especially for, you know, the classic format and all that stuff. So that is another reason to go follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to me there so you can check out all of my content any time of day without fret of it getting deleted due to a timer. So, there's this list. What was... I think Lurker 300 was the one that built the weapon throwing deck. And I think I deleted it because it's online. I did a big deck overhaul cleaning of my decks so that I didn't have like 50 million. But the hero that you were thinking of is Spike Chief Jolokia. Is there a good deck for Crystal Warper? One sec. But yeah, Spike Chief Jolokia is the one. Yeah, that's the one that throws the items. This is the one that's just going to hold 3 of them, which is going to make for a very unique deck that I could potentially run 4 colors in, or just run the items for benefit. Crystal Warper. That's an action card, right? I have yet to play with this card. That could be something that we test out, Wranglethorpe. That could be on my list. I'll put it right down here. Because that is a card that is so unique in its wording and how it works that could possibly be the next like Shrine of Death that I build a deck trying to benefit Crystal Warper and get the best out of it. So that, yeah, that'll be on my list right after my, You ran it with Ferris. Nice. Yeah, Shibes, if you're using, you're not in the, you said they're not in the, you said Ferris was your deck in Deliver Crab Online. If you want, you can email me that deck list and I can showcase it, or you can put it up on TradeJoe.cards, or if you don't want anyone to know it at all, you're more than fine to do that. I think Ferris is a pretty interesting hero. I've tried making him work, but mind you, I gave him like 5 minutes and then I went on to something else. Because I was like immediately like, I need to use like the Molten Claws to make Ferris work because he's fire and I like fire and all this stuff. But I'm sure there's many other ways to make it better. But Crystal Warper is interesting with Ferris because like you'd want your buffs to stay out for a long time, right? Instead of having them rotate quickly. So that's kind of interesting that you ran it with Ferris unless it was a tech card. But I'm going to try and build a deck. Maybe I'll do this on Saturday. Maybe on Saturday I'll try and build a Crystal Warper deck. But Wednesday is definitely the deck to try and build with the Nature 3 hero or 3 item deck. That one is going to be good because I want to try and build a deck with all 3 heroes that can hold 3 items. Lexi is getting retired, so I'm not even going to bother with him. But that sounds good. That sounds fine to me. I think that is a great idea for a show on Wednesday. If I don't get to do my Tantosian Tavern Trials, I'll spend the entire day just trying to make that one hero work, see what we can get with its several items. My guess is there's going to be many a rendition of cards, of decks, to play with him. And then Saturday, I'll try and make a deck around Crystal Warper, where it's not just a tech card to make stuff rotate out, where I try and use it to my own advantage. That sounds like a mighty fine decision to me. With that being said, everyone, I want to give a Thunderfin salute to everyone who stuck around, all my technical difficulties, all of my 5.5 hours of stream that I did today, watched my Tantosian Tavern Trial, watched me do the Valentine's Day campaign, build a funny meme all-air deck, showcase Fatal Zeph's amazing mind-bending OTK deck that takes so much more thought than even I thought, and I was like, dude, this takes a lot of thought. Cowboy Hat Valor, thank you very much. We're going to go see one tomorrow. The one tomorrow, I have high hopes for because it's the same price range as a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's a 3-bedroom, which means if we get it, and it's in the right price range for us, I get my own streaming studio room. We're just going to do this all day. All day. My girlfriend says if that's how it's going to be, and we're making a studio like an office room, we're soundproofing that room so she doesn't have to hear me scream. And if that's the case, ooh, I can stay up till 10 making high-pitched sounds like that, and she'll still get mad at me because she's a very light sleeper. But I will try and be as quiet as possible in a soundproof room. Can I just message you the deck list on Discord? Shibes, you can. You can. I'll keep doing that for now. I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out there. Discord. So many people have messaged me on Discord. Like right now, I think I have like 15 active conversations on Discord. That like if you send it there, there's a chance that like I'll have to dig through it, filter through it, and stuff like that. Which is why I've been trying to encourage people to just email me at razorgreshu.com or razorgreshu@gmail.com, because that one is just, hey, you know, Shibes. I can legitimately search Shibes Ferris deck list and find it without all the filter stuff. But if you want to send it to Discord, that's completely fine too. But I will say, like, as soon as, if I become popular, I don't know if I will, I'm gonna try my hardest. If the way people start talking to me and stuff like that does become a hassle, then I will recommend an email. But if you want to send it on Discord, that's completely fine. A lot of people have done that so far, and I've still been able to find it. But for future, like, give it 6 months to a year. I'm crossing my fingers that I have a really good ramp up with my show for you guys to entertain you. That email will be the #1 way to get a hold of me. And Discord, I'll probably just exclude to holding conversations via games. And if you send me a deck list, it might be difficult, especially if I want to like save that email so I can save the deck list for later and come back to it at a later date. It's just a lot easier for organization. And Lord knows if I want to be a good Twitch streamer and have all these things, having some sort of organizational pattern is really nice. And email, I just found, is the best way to do that. So, as I've said before with my Thunderfin salute, good night, good luck, and go seek some light. I'll work on the outro. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.